Hey, Crown Content Publications followers, viewers, and supporters. Thank you for tuning in to another segment with the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel, where publishing and marketing meet, of course. If you want to learn more about our services and our mission to assist authors and freelancers in 2022, you must visit my website, www.contentcrownpublications.com. On there, you're going to find new book release publications by myself, Arthur Tedasheri. You will also find, you will also find ways that we can help you publish your book, ways we can do promos for your book, for your business on our Crown Content Publications podcast show. The link is always shared in the description section. Don't forget to give me a like and a follow to show your support. I'm sorry, this ain't Instagram. A like and a subscribe. Y'all bear with me as I jump on. Last night, guys, I was looking at my old videos from when I first started, just in January to now. OMG, the glow up has been real. But see, if I can grow that much in just 60 days, 90 days, how much more can I grow? And I think that's what we miss about our lives sometimes out here, guys, because this does kind of tie into the segment I'm about to talk about. We miss out on our lives worrying about what people think about us, y'all. Worrying about, just staying in abusive pattern type situations, circumstances, and relationships. OMG. There is so much more in life to see, okay? So let me stay on topic here. I did a segment on yesterday. Today's date marks April 1st, 2022, which is my oldest daughter, my junior, my twin sex birthday, guys. I'm about to record this segment, and then I'm about to go jump in the pool with my beautiful babies, and we're going to swim into her 11th birthday. Swim all the problems away. Y'all feel me? Okay. So, today's date marks April 1st, like I said, 2022. Happy April to you guys out there. We know that this is the month of bliss, the month of Easter, and all kind of other great things, the month before Mother's Day, right? April is full of surprises, and I want to go into my spring happy. I want you to go into your spring happy too, and that's why we're about to talk about part 2 of patterns and cycles of domestic violence. So on March 31st, the reason I kept saying the date like that is because March 31st, 2022, I literally just recorded a segment, and this was part 1 of domestic violence cycles and signs, red flags. The word I put on the thumbnail, guys, is patterns. What is a pattern? Something that is repetitive, something that follows one after the other, okay? I don't know about y'all, I don't want to be any part of a statistic that is not a positive statistic, because statistics are also sometimes a form of pattern, okay? A statistic might tell you over a certain period of time what has stayed persistent, what has changed, what has decreased, what has increased, okay? I only want to be a part of positive statistics. We're in a global pandemic, okay? It's not many positives we can probably even be a part of, but see, we have to go look for these things on our own, because not too many people are positive today. They weren't before the pandemic, but that's what we're here to talk about. Did you know that child abuse cases rose at the start of the pandemic in 2020? If you didn't, I'm not going to give the statistical numbers and rates here. I just wouldn't say it on a live segment if it wasn't true. So, go research that. That's just going to be the start, though. Then domestic violence cases rose. This doesn't just mean women being abused, guys. This means families abusing one another. Men abusing women, women abusing men, children abusing parents, okay? Grandkids abusing grandparents, you name it. It was happening right before the pandemic, and it got worse according to statistics. Remember me bringing up that word pattern, because it is what's on my thumbnail as the title segment of this video, okay? This is part 2. Give me a like and a subscribe if you like where I'm finna go with this, okay? And there will be a part 3, 4, 5 until we get the message across that, how is that cool, guys? Like, how has this been normalized? If I'm a part of this society, if I'm gonna have to be a millennial and live on this earth and endure these type of things, I'm not saying personally, because I've had my share of battles too, but I'm talking about just be here in this era where this is normalized. I'd rather be a outspoken individual about this topic, okay? Because I love women. I've never been gay. No man has ever been able to get me to sleep with a woman. I'm not attracted to women in that way. Let me make that clear, okay? But to each their own. What I do want to make clear, though, is that I love women in a way where I feel like we do deserve, ladies out there. And I love men in a way where y'all deserve more, okay? I've seen it on both sides. I love children out there to where they deserve more. And that's why right here on the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel, we have been sharing tips, advice, and ways that you can begin to invest in your children. But this segment is not about that. This segment is more talking about the patterns and how if we don't change these cycles and patterns, they are passed down from generation to generation to generation. So a lot of y'all out there be like, man, I want to be that generational curse breaker in my family. I want to be that cycle breaker in my family. I want to do something in my family ain't nobody did, right? How y'all gonna do that? And you're not changing anything. You know what I mean? It's like I don't even have to ask this question. How are you gonna change things in the cycle of your generation? First of all, if you don't know the history of what's been going on in your family. See, a lot of y'all can go back to the second, maybe the third generation, because that's going to be grandma or great-grandma. But do you know your family history? You heard it from Crown Content Publications. Give me a like real quick. Do you know your family history? Surpass grandma, great-grandma. I'm not here to knock you about it, but how can you begin to fix your future if you don't know your history? Do you know the bloodline of your father? Do you know the bloodline of your mother? See, one thing about, I'm just going to speak on the black culture and community real quick. They think black women are out here bitter because they walked out the door on their kids. Not that that's not a reason to be. They think black women are out here bitter because these men walked out the door on the women. Not that that's not a reason to be. Okay? So I start this to say this. When you are walking out the door of a woman with children, period, men out there, because I'm finna get on the women next, and how domestic violence patterns begin. I talked about on the segment yesterday. Let me say this real quick. How the official definition of domestic violence and how it is practically family related. Some of y'all be like, I went to jail. They put domestic violence on my charge. I wasn't nothing to her. She was just this or that. And the domestic violence is getting sneakier out here, guys. But let me stay on topic here. The fact is, if you are related to somebody or knew or were in some type of relationship, period. It could have been a business relationship. Domestic violence. I don't know. Like, you got to be careful with the type of relationships. We've talked about this on other business networking. Watch who you got in your circle type entrepreneur segments on the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel. Y'all tune into my podcast show too. We're just trying to raise awareness about those dirty, dark things in the world that is really going on because don't nobody want to speak up about. So domestic violence is going to be, it's you having an intertwined, very entrusted relationship with a person, place, or thing. Predominantly a person, because you can sue probably places and things too, but we know that domestic violence is usually has to do with people that you are dealing with, okay? So my main point is it's pretty much better for you to, it's literally better for you guys not to even play like you're in a relationship with somebody, whether it's family, whether it's friendships, relationships, most definitely, because like I covered on the segment from yesterday, a young lady just practically killed her baby father. Okay, so it's going both ways to where it's like it's not just women being hurt by men. You now have, and this is just a recent case, but women have been if not hurting men too. You know how women do it, y'all? We talking about domestic violence patterns. If you just now tuning in, clicking on this real quick, how women been getting away with this, y'all? I ain't saying nothing new. And the ones still doing it today think they're doing something new. Like, I ain't been here 30 years. I'm so glad I'm an author now. And I want to be an advocate of domestic violence. Because this is crazy, y'all. When I say you need to go research the statistics, the rates, the percentages that women have lost their lives over senseless situations, over people's bitter feelings, over people's just their emotions. This is women I'm talking about first, but the women that have took their anger out on men too, and they around her setting them up. Go look up the cases. Just go Google what I'm talking about. Every time they get to the bottom of these cases where it's a woman, okay, like, yeah, a man murdered, but I promise y'all, at the bottom of the barrel, it'd be a woman behind it. Now, man, I'm not doing this segment for y'all not to trust me. I'm just saying you're a fool not to listen to what I gotta say. Like, oh my goodness. A lot of the men that it was advertised and mediatized, like he got killed by such and such, that'd be a fact. You know, they found the suspect. They found the suspect guilty. But, you know, oftentimes right there in trial, the suspect would sit there and say, yeah, such and such paid me. And it'd be a woman that was close to that man. Y'all better wake up out here. Y'all sit around and watch Crime TV and First 48. So you already know what I'm talking about. What else? All these shows on Oxygen, these murder crime shows. I done watched plenty of them. To be able to weed through some things in life. But it's like, y'all want to check my book out too. Once again, www.consultation.publications.com is always going to advertise and market all of my new book publications, including authors that receive our services and choose us to market their book. It's always going to be on the website. But the reason I brought up the website, y'all, is because there's a new updated publication, not just the Power of No, that is speaking on the importance of boundaries in your life. What is a boundary? It's that line that you set in your life that you're not letting people cross no more. And it does not take you being physical. Domestic violence is called domestic violence because violence is involved. But in this book, we're teaching ways to say no, sometimes non-verbally. You ain't got to say no. Because it ain't like when you say no, everybody just, it's like they hear you, but they don't hear you. Like they not going to still try you. Like they not going to still push you to the limit. Okay? So these boundaries we talk about in the Power of No, this new my very most recent book publication. You want to check that out? Just check it out. And there's other books out here about boundaries. Authors published before I did, okay? And there's therapists to help you begin to do that too. And just know when y'all begin to set boundaries, that's when the real war start. Why y'all think so many women coming up missing and dead? All they did is say no. All they did is put their foot down. All they did is say, nah, I don't want this no more. They had protection orders. They had legal rights. They done went to police and judge. All of this about this, y'all. This is how real domestic violence has not just gotten in America, but it's getting across the globe, okay? So I'm just saying, like, as Americans, we have the freedom to choose the spouses, the partners, not necessarily a family, but when you get to a certain age, the boundaries you are setting, okay? You know, we just want to be more grateful for that. We want to be more, how do you become more grateful? Be more attentive. Pay more attention at those truth and jokes people be telling. Pay more attention at who supports you when they feel like, just pay attention. Didn't Young Dolph just get killed? Somebody said that ain't got nothing to do with domestic violence. I'm still not here to say that his baby mama could have been behind it, but that's just one of them situations we'll never know, because it's like, sis, we rarely seen you around. We rarely seen you around. We just know you got kids by him. And then you just never know, guys, like who's envious of you. We just know it was somebody close because that man was at the cookie shop in his home city. Even though he was filthy rich, he just went to the cookie shop. He visited his home city. Somebody saw him there and had that set up. But anyways, this is not about Young Dolph. That is an example of what I am talking about. I still consider that domestic. You get killed in your home city, at your home cookie store. So anyways, back to the patterns. I just spent 14 minutes just kind of venting about, you know, how the statistics and percentages show that, you know, just like cancer is killing people, just like AIDS is killing people, just like, you know, diseases, COVID is killing people, y'all. Domestic violence is too. And like I just said, on the part 1 segment I did yesterday, a young woman just killed her baby daddy. Oh, y'all ain't heard nothing. Y'all know during the pandemic, people was killing spouses and partners and baby mama and baby daddies over stimulus checks. Over stimulus checks, y'all. And they had these kids together. Like, I heard some people say, well, they should have gave old boy some of the money, or he should have gave his baby mama some. That's not how they work. Go tell the government that. Go tell the government what a person should have gave somebody when they gave it to them to begin with, because it's theirs. Like, come on, bro. The government didn't say you got to split that or divvy that down with anybody. You handled your business, you got your money, and people got mad about it, y'all. We talking about domestic violence patterns. So we started off on segment 1 talking about how characteristics and traits. Now, some of it y'all can't even help it. You inherit it. It's in your blood. That's why I say it's gonna take a real 360 change with some of it. Everybody want to be the head honcho, the boss, the generational curse breaker in their family, but are you willing to do what it takes? Do you know what come with that? I just told y'all, when you start setting boundaries and say no, like it said in my book that you soon gonna be ordering when you visit my website. Oh yeah, guys, you guys get a free bookmark with all my free, not my free books, but you get a free book complimentary of Crown Publishing content when you order a book from us. What are you gonna do when you order any of our ebooks and digitally download these to your devices? You're going to screenshot your order, okay, your purchase confirmation, and you're going to email that to me at crowncontentpublications@aol.com. This is how I know that I need to go ahead and mail you a free bookmark, okay? We're starting with bookmarks. Maybe our 100th book sale with the Power Note, our most recent publication. You get a Crown Content Publications coffee mug, Crown Content Publications t-shirt. I appreciate the support that much, right? Because I am one of those people in life that notice life is short, and I want to give back to the world as much as I want to receive from the world. Actually, I know that giving is receiving. It's the people that are domestic violence abusers that don't understand this about life. They feel like take. This what they get a thrill off of. You know what I mean? Abusing, emotionally abusing. Oh, people didn't know stabbing somebody in the back that trusts you was domestic violence. Just because the law ain't, I'm talking about it's different forms of stabbing people in the back, y'all. It's different forms of it. This is abuse. Somebody sitting here venting, telling you all their business. Ladies, guys out there, because y'all be out here pillow talking, not knowing that you play a part in stealing lives. I see why y'all don't want to believe there's a God, because if there is one and he's set up and built like this Bible say, it's blood at your hands. You didn't pull the trigger. You didn't hurt that person, but did you hurt them when you was sitting up pillow talking? When you was sitting up running your mouth about their business? You know what I mean? Running your mouth about how you had to help them through their hardships. Are you gonna be held accountable? If this person come up missing or dead, why wouldn't somebody look at you as a suspect? You know, somebody might remember. You know, he or she used to talk about her bad. He had something. And what's going on with the young Dolph case, y'all? They say after he had passed and everything, got shot up and stuff in the cookie shop, you had people, this how disrespectful, you know, society's getting. You had people coming out, play joking in songs that they did it, or getting on videos saying we did it. People be disrespectful. But see, the thing is, you so bad and you did it and you got them out the way. Why you didn't come and tell the police that? Why you wasn't there at the scene when they came? It's stupid. I don't respect humans like that. But anyways, I gotta stay on topic here. I don't respect him. I can respect where respect is given, but just like respecting humans, I don't know you till I get to know you, and once I get to know you and I see something, that's what I'm going off of. Or once, cause I'm not the type of person just finna go off of what I mean. I don't care what I heard. I want to see for myself type of person. But see, because we don't have enough people like that in the world, people coming up dead, y'all. People coming up missing. I'm saying how this does play a part in domestic violence patterns. And see, once again, like I touched on in part 1, this is part 2. For those who are just now tuning into the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel, we have been promoting the awareness of domestic violence and abuse in households. Not just single parent households, married relationships too. You better ask these women from that was married in the 30s and 40s. They were being abused by their husbands. Okay. Anyways, the patterns. Let's stay on topic here. You cannot control a trait or a characteristic in your mind, in your heart, that was passed down to you through the umbilical cord. You can't control that. You know, if gossiping in your blood, gossiping in your blood. if betrayal and backstabbing is in your blood, it's in your blood. It's in your blood. If you know, abusing people or using violence to get your way is in your blood, it's in your blood. But see, a lot of this stuff is not inherited. This is where we begin to talk about patterns. Some of this stuff is just unconscious learned behaviors. You are unconsciously redoing something that happened in your life, wondering why your life after so long end up looking like just like the people you said you would never be like. See, some of y'all ain't lived long enough. And then some of you have lived long enough and you see it, but you're too bitter, you're too, high horse to admit that, man, my life done turned out just like such and such. And I said I'd never go through that because I didn't know I could break that cycle. Or maybe I found out, but I wasn't interested in putting the work in and breaking that cycle with my children or with my sisters and brothers or with my family. You see? See, this stuff is unconscious learned behaviors. If you saw your daddy fix horses, groom horse tails all your life, and you say, I'll never do this because I hate doing it, and you're a child, right? And you get to living a little bit, you're like, man, daddy really already got this business, so I'm going to put the work in and go start my own, and put the work in and go work somebody. I mean, I'm just trying to give an example how 9 times out of 10, people end up doing. Where do we think culture came from? Where do we think tradition came from? We only do what we think is right. We only think a certain thing is right because it's been done around us for so long, right? It's been practiced around us for so long. And then if somebody try to come in our life and tell us it's wrong, ooh, we got a problem. We got a problem. When that person probably just trying to tell you, hey, I'm noticing a cycle or a pattern in your life that I really don't want to see you go down. So you gotta let people live and learn on their own. But when it comes to like abusive men, though, y'all, it's crazy how much research proves most of them were simply abused themselves or watched their parent be abused when they were little. They hate when I bring this up, but it's the truth. And my problem with the criminal justice system, y'all do everything y'all can to make these people serve time or whatever and give their time to society for what they did. But are you counseling them in there? Or do we have some type of spiritual conduct classes in there for them? Like, and then y'all mothers out there who these abusive men can run back to every time they do something, they not worried about committing to you ladies. Because you ladies notice it. When you got the kind of man, I mean, because there's some mothers out there that love their son, but I think that stuff can get to a level of weirdness. When you all up in your son relationship business, you all up in what your son should, and then they be advocating for it, like they think they have a right to do that, y'all. They don't notice that that's a brain mishap. Like, your son is grown, he is a grown man of all things. You don't see nothing wrong with, and as a grown man, you don't see nothing wrong with needing your mother's validation. I'd rather stay single, y'all, till I feel like I don't need nobody validation no more. Ever since I woke up today, because I might need my mother validation a lot still for things. Is that going to be fair to a man who commit his whole life to me? We got to start thinking like this out here. As a man, you still in a place in your mind, in your heart, you still need your mother's validation for everything you do. Why wouldn't that leak into your relationship? Why wouldn't that leak into your marriage? So I'm saying another pattern of why these relationships are not lasting and why abuse and arguing, yelling, cussing each other out, which is verbal abuse, this stuff is going on because a lot of y'all parents is messed up. Once again, it's a pattern. If your parent didn't have a happy relationship during your childhood, a lot of them don't want to see you happy because it reminds them of what they didn't have. Y'all, it's crazy. And then if they're allowed to, they're going to keep that same cycle going. And now, because all your relationships failed, your unwedded children's relationship are going to fail. Like, my question is, when do we plan on changing this pattern or cycle? What child didn't deserve a two-parent home with a happy father and a happy mother? Let me ask it like that. People too busy, they growing up, but they not healing. They're not fixing the pattern, right? They're not finding their own happiness in life. So they just grown, screwed up people. And they want to do grown things, like have a man, have a woman, lay up, you know what I'm saying, get married even, have kids. But they're emotionally still, you know what I mean, mentally still battling demons, battling cycles and patterns they didn't understand, they never got answers about. And they're still screwed up about it, right? Patterns. Another pattern I want to talk about. I touched on it in part 1 a little bit, but see, when y'all leave these women and children, you're leaving the door open, like I left off saying, for new men to come in there. Don't leave with it. And it's F her, forget your kids, forget child support. And then when a new man come in there, and this is not just for black people, okay? You got baby mamas doing this in all cultures. They making these babies, y'all, and when they walk out on them, as soon as somebody else come in, we ain't saying that somebody else is perfect, but it's not a crime to move on after somebody do you dirty, do you wrong, just show you they don't want the relationship. So when people move forward, this is a terrible pattern going on in society today. People move forward, oh, here come the baby mama hating, oh, here come the baby daddy hating. Boy, they hating. They like, oh no, I don't want him around my kid, I don't want her around my kids. It's crazy, y'all. But where was you? This your child. What are you doing? Where was you? And some of them, they in their kids' life, and they still want to tell you. Those I do respect though. Like, if you're in your kid life, I do feel like you have a right to say, you know, you have a right to your child's life and what that mother or that father is having around them, especially if they see you actively in that child life. Like, just for an example, how you gonna tell a mother that they handle her business 24/7 with her kids? I can't say anything, but how can you tell her she doesn't have a right or a say so with them kids? Okay, and she pushed these babies, umbilical cord, all that. Some of these women out here by themselves. You men wasn't there. But see, when y'all do that and y'all walk out on y'all kids as early as day 1. It's early from the day they born. Day 1, I'm going to say from conception date, because some dads are doing it. I heard being a sperm donor doesn't make you a dad, though, but I ain't going to go that deep. But my point is, when y'all walk out, you are leaving the door open. You walk out, you go with another woman because you done found something else to make you walking out on the kids. Let's not even talk about the women. You walking out on the kids. But it's messing the women up, too. Stop playing with people's emotion. These are domestic violence patterns. This is what, I guess in my own words, gets the shit started. This that stuff that festers in the foundations, in the little creases, and behind your back, and under the table, and under the pillow, that don't nobody want to talk about, under the rug, don't nobody want to talk about. But everybody want to start a GoFundMe. Everybody wants you to come to the funeral. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to say they miss this person, that person when they gone. But what were they doing to prevent the situation from getting to that level? Are we doing enough? See, when y'all walk out, you're leaving the door open for a man that ain't even their biological fathers. And what, like I said in part 1, what does a man like that have to lose? These ain't even his kids. These ain't even his kids. So, you know, and he got anger issues and some more shit that the mama didn't check out. Oh man, he ain't got no problem going ham on her and your kids you didn't care about. And it's sad. A lot of y'all men act like y'all don't even care. I ain't saying go out there, because violence with violence ain't gonna fix nothing. It just keeps the pattern going. Did I speak on that? Yeah, y'all fighting this with violence like cycles are not real. They need to be broken, and violence is not the way all the time. How about supporting your kid from day one is the answer. How about being emotionally available for your child is the answer. So your child know where they come from. So your child understand who they are and why they are like they are, right? You can't control the genes and the characteristics and traits that you have. But sometimes knowing who you are and knowing where you come from helps you to process who you are. That's step number one. You just processing, okay, this is me. This is what's in me. This what come with my genetic makeup. Cause it's more than this right here, and your skin color. And I'm talking about it's some internal characteristics and traits, guys, that we're out here carrying. Now that part, I'm not blaming nobody for. You know, a lot of abusive men. I just heard it time and time again, man. They own biological fathers. I didn't just say somebody that raised them, somebody their mama chose. Their biological fathers were just like that. And I'm like, what is that? So is this inherited? Because some of these dads wasn't even in these guys' lives, but they heard through the grapevine their biological dads were just like that. So how you end up like that? Is it just missing a father figure? Y'all done heard that out here before. Y'all know what children without fathers, how this affecting society, right? But it's still all the woman fault. It still take two. I just came on this segment. It still take two. You laid there and help her have that baby. That's your baby too. That's your baby too. Calling a hoe, telling her you moved on. Like, how does that alleviate you from your responsibility? And we're not talking about child support responsibility. We're not talking about finances at all. Do y'all know? And some of y'all know. That's why I say this pattern just keeps happening. Oh, I didn't have a daddy, so I'm gonna pick and choose which kids I'm gonna be there for. I didn't have a daddy, so shit. Why I gotta be there for mine? I turned out alright. If you turned out alright, you wouldn't even be thinking like that. Some of y'all think y'all alright out there, and you're really narcissist as hell. You think you alright, and you think that you are emotionally stable enough for a relationship. I don't get it. When you know that you could take as long as possible to get to know a person and see if you are compatible with that person first before y'all start emotionally messing these kids up for no reason. You knew what your motives and intention was with that woman before you got with her. Probably 2-3 weeks in, 4 weeks in. That's plenty of time for you to see if you know a person, if they could be somebody you can grow in, get into love, and things like that. Women, I don't blame y'all, but I'm just saying, this is a new article. Today is April 1st, 2022. This was released 2 days ago. Get out my window. 2 days ago, she murdered her baby daddy. She murdered her baby daddy. Now y'all can go research why and all of that. I still feel like nobody should really have the power, but I feel things much deeper and see it differently. Not no baby mother. You don't have the power to take, and I've been through some things with some baby daddy, so you don't have the right to take nobody's life. It's the kind of society we live in today, y'all. See, some people already had a kind of mindset because you are a certain thing to them, baby mama, baby daddy, sister, brother, daughter, they have the right. We talking about domestic violence patterns, because you are just something you can't even control. I'm just related to you. I'm just your baby mama. I'm just your wife, whatever it is. Domestic violence, once again, is domestic. You're domestically involved with this person somehow. Family, closely related, relationship somehow. And a lot of people feel like these the ones they quicker to do dirty quicker. You know what I'm saying? These the ones they quicker to hurt faster. They own wife, they own baby mama, they own children. Just because you are simply that to them, and they begin to feel a certain way about you. But we talking about domestic violence patterns. Y'all don't plan on stopping these cycles no time soon. I mean, because I don't know if talking about karma helps much on this segment, but this is where the cycles come from. You sat back and watched the lady get done wrong and you had power to help her. Or you sat back and watched what a man was doing. You sat back and watched what a woman was doing to a man. And you sat back and watched it. You laughed at her because you thought it was funny. But you don't think that you don't think that karma real. You don't think that cycles are real. You don't think that that'll come back around in some way, shape, or form to find you out. I guess while I'm on here on part 2, domestic violence is not a laughing matter. But still, y'all pulling y'all cameras and phones out before you jump in and help a situation. You pulling your camera and phone out. You want to be the one with the evidence. You want to be the one with the full scoop. What's wrong with y'all? See, one thing about my life, when I answer for judgment before God, it won't be that I did nothing. If I got to do these segments and preach it, because I don't just preach it on here, trust me. Something is mentally wrong with people who rather keep drama going. That knows this type of drama leads to violence because, look, like I say, the domestic violence rate's already showing it. I done already heard stories about baby daddies shooting their cars with their own kids in it. How many real stories do y'all need? With their own kids in it, how do you get that angry? Or was you already emotionally stable? Because I bet you if baby girl knew that, she wouldn't have laid down and had your kids. But making a baby feel good to y'all. Y'all are putting innocent seeds, innocent breeds of seeds that you could give up at birth. See, I didn't have no intention of doing it with mine. A lot of people got a problem with me about it too. I love my kid. I want to be a mother. But see, some things is bigger than your control. Like the daddy, I could control who it is. But a lot of us get pregnant. We get pregnant. And we didn't mean to get pregnant. Y'all know what it is. This world wouldn't have 1 billion people on it right now if that wasn't the case. Because not every mom and daddy was married or was with the one they going to essentially be with forever when they had their kids. So y'all having innocent breeds of kids. Oh, that's another thing. Domestic violence patterns and cycles. Soon as this man hurt y'all taking it out on the kids. Soon as somebody hurt your little feelings, you taking it out on the kids. That's dumb. People tried to say I was doing it too. That's a lie. How I dealt with my kids have been how I've always dealt with my kids. I don't know, and I've always been happier. If I'm ever asked my opinion about my life, I'm always happier without I almost said that word. Without a man in my life to stress me out, I'm always happier. My kids are always happier. So you hear me yelling or something, I mean, yeah, I've learned to parent without yelling so much it only raises my blood pressure. That's it. Stress me out or something. But we're not finna sit here and play like not even the best parents in the world have to raise their voice sometimes. What's wrong with y'all? That's not abusive. That's parenting. You gonna sit there and let the child keep doing whatever that can hurt them? That can sabotage their life. Then you gotta teach them right. Or is that another pattern we gotta break? Y'all be out here talking about parents is abusive and because they yelled at their child to sit down. They hurt over a nigga because they yelled at their child to sit down. But that same woman or man they talking about, ask their mama or daddy how they used to tell them to sit down. That's my point, y'all. We gotta break these patterns and cycles. Y'all out here implementing that manipulation stuff. I just know that for sure. That's not gonna work with me no more. Not from a man, not from a job, not from a woman. Be real. Because I'm not with patterns. I'm not with cycles. Especially abusive ones. And manipulation is that exactly. Y'all, some of y'all being manipulated into some of the most horrific situations. How do we think domestic violence starts? Think a man just meet a woman and start beating on her? No. He gotta get her in his, lure her in his web of so-called love and romantic BS. That way when he get to that abusive part, she always run back. It sounds like some pimp stuff, don't it? Every abuser who has an abuser, you abusing your sister, you a pimp. You abusing your brother, you a pimp. You abusing your child, you a pimp. Cause like, what's the difference really? But every time we see a pimp on TV, we hear the word pimp. Ha ha ha. Y'all, people out here dying, y'all. Kids are dying, y'all. Maybe y'all soul's gone. Cause if what I'm saying is not clicking, registering, or making you feel something, you heartless anyway. You're a part of the problem. What domestic violence campaign advocacy system have you joined this year in 2022? Have you donated to? What battered woman have you wrapped your arm around this year? A woman you know got raped or molested or went through something horrific when it comes to abuse. Because there's other types of abuse, financial abuse, all it. Y'all, when people are trying to vent, that's another thing that's went up out here. We talking about domestic violence patterns, suicide rates, and this was before the pandemic. You know why people are doing it? Not that I'm excusing it. They can't. They feel like they too pure for this world. They feel like they couldn't take it no more. They feel like somebody bullied them. Bullying is another pattern of domestic violence, and 8 out of the 10 bullies in the world were so entitled at home. They're so entitled by the ones that's supposed to be pouring love into them. They have literally brainwashed them into thinking they are better enough than people to bully them. They better enough than people. And see, so it's only one God that see high and look low. Some people they think they up here, y'all. See, I look at everybody. I don't care what you do, how much money you got. As long as you got nostrils like this and eyes, like, as long as you human, you don't sit higher than God. Even if it ain't no God, that's my mentality. If it ain't no God to y'all, that's my mentality. And it's helped me get away from a lot of just eerie, dark, evil people. That's my mentality. Don't nobody sit higher than God, y'all. If they did, it wouldn't be so much madness in the world today. Because what kind of God is they sitting higher than? And why they ain't fixed all the stuff, all the horror in the world, all the sickness in the world, all the illness, like why they ain't did that? But they sit higher than God. They sit high enough to make you feel low. Nobody's gonna do that to me anymore. But I want y'all to know this is the domestic violence pattern. If you at home, whoever you are today, and you've been feeling low about yourself, but you notice when you get away from a certain type of toxic environment, a certain type of toxic person, a certain type of toxic conversation, you just feel better, that's a red flag. That's a whole red flag. Sometimes people just need some confirmation about it. Yeah. They just need, like, man, I knew I wasn't tripping. See, domestic violence wouldn't be domestic if it didn't have to do with affairs, some type of relationship, employee, employer. With y'all, first thing the police gonna ask, y'all didn't have some type of sexual relations, did you? Yeah, because that makes that a new case. Now, if it was just an assault, it was an assault. But see, assault and domestic violence assault is two different things. Am I right or wrong, y'all? Why wouldn't you think and look at your life every day as the court of law? Because see, every decision and choice you make in this world, it got a law to it. It got either a reward or a judgment. Now, I'm gonna say everything got a judgment, but it got a reward or a punishment, okay? And people wanna, I don't know, I'm done with people like that. Like, you wanna bully the weak. That's another thing with domestic violence patterns. Y'all notice majority of abuse cases are against the elderly, children, and women. You know what percentage of men fall into them? The one that's actually men, the one that actually try to be sensitive to people, the ones that actually try to give their heart to people, the ones that give people a million chances, them be the ones get stepped on. Them be the ones be plotted against. Look at Young Dolph. Them be the ones, you know what I'm saying, people hate the most. The ones with the biggest hearts. Women got big hearts, they're natural nurturers. Children have big hearts, they're natural nurturers. Elderly people, most of them have good hearts, they're natural nurturers. Usually they've raised grandkids and kids already, maybe great grandkids. Patterns. Pattern. That's what this segment is about. Domestic violence patterns. Y'all out here screwing these women up who turning around and taking this stuff out on their kids, man. And I ain't here to knock them. I just wish it's something I could do about it, because y'all, these kids is really suffering the effects of deadbeat men, just like neglectful men. It should be a crime to walk out on your child, bro. It should be a whole crime to not be there emotionally, to protect this child, to look out for this child, to check on, you know what I mean? That should be a crime. No, it's a crime though if you don't pay child support and stick to your visitation rights. I guess that's a start in society. And they complain about that. So I got a problem with the world for sure. I'm not finna go kill myself about it. And I'm not finna let them easily kill me about it. Because they emotionally damaged, y'all. They mentally messed up, once again, from women who damaged them, who were damaged, who was only looking for love. All of this is a pattern. The main bullies out here, they daddies wasn't there. The main bullies, y'all. Go find the statistics that proves me wrong. The main bullies. The main narcissists. But the ones like me that try to raise awareness about it, that try to go self-heal, that don't really bother nobody. I want to find my own way through this, because I just feel like a lot of stuff ain't right. It's bigger than just my family or bigger than just my kids. The ones of us that feel like that, it's like, what makes her better? That's the first thing people gonna ask. What makes her better? You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes her qualified to speak on it? Trust me, it comes with its qualifications. It comes with its qualifications, baby. Age, experience. Experience is number one. Cause see, you got 5-year-olds done been through 11 years worth of drama. 11-year-olds been through 22-year-old worth of drama. 20-year-olds went through 40-year-old worth of drama. This gotta stop. When can our kids be kids again? When can the women be women again? You know what I'm saying? The first thing wrong a woman do, you know what y'all abusers? Y'all abusers, boy. You can't make no mistake. You can't make no mistake around them. They don't even be seeing it. Therapists will tell you that it's unlikely for a narcissist to change. What they're saying, guys, is that it's unlikely for an abuser to ever stop abusing people. It's like, I be like, dang, if they know this, why is these people just walking around on the street? Why is these people just out here freely able to still make they choices on a day-to-day basis? Because they might choose another vulnerable woman. They might choose another vulnerable man. They might choose another vulnerable child. This stuff is sick. And these are patterns we need to start paying attention to, guys. Because if it's going on in your family, if it's going on in your work life, if it's going on, you got to get away. We talking about patterns because maybe you can't change the whole setting. Maybe you can't change the whole society. But you better believe everybody that takes a stand for something, they say stand for something, fall for anything. Everybody that takes a stand for something, they doing it. It ain't got to account for nothing. It ain't got to look like it. It ain't got to mean nothing. But they are standing for one less child being hurt because they not finna advocate about it. They're standing for the fact, hey, when I see something, hear something, I'm finna go say something about it. You know, right is right and wrong is wrong. You know you like that, you need to go get help. I ain't gonna say you need to go get help immediately, but if you know that you're having a hard time with self-healing processes and just, you know, removing yourself from situations and environments, you having a hard time just quote unquote changing, you need help. Woman or a man. Because see, a child is innocent. All these hurt grown-ups are ex-children. They used to be kids, y'all. That's how I look at it. They used to be kids, and like I said, 9 out of 10 research stories I done found about abusers that end up hurting somebody, killing somebody, or worse. You like, what's worse than killing? There's worse. Because they do overkill type murders. Burning, stabbing them over and over. Just weird stuff. Finding bodies in dumpsters. Just weird stuff, y'all. And these be people that were in relationships together. These be people that was family with each other. These be people that was friends. Look at Selena. Y'all like, I mean, it ain't that bad. You turning a blind eye don't save your child from it in the future. So I hope somebody hear what I'm saying. You turning a blind eye don't save your grandchildren from it. But y'all out here talking about you love yourself, you love your kids. What is you doing for the future in the world? These is the people that's gotta be here when you gone. But you only thinking about yourself. Cause you ain't doing nothing to help the future. Continuing the cycle, continuing the pattern of abusive violence. Violence alone, you know, when they go to war, when they think of battle, that's when I think of violence. We at war about something. If you just violence because it make you feel better, because you got drunk, because this make you feel like you doing the right thing, something wrong with you. Gotta be violent. You gotta be violent. You gotta be violent, or you gotta use vulgar what's the word, like tactics, violent tactics. Tactics are real too. Violent manipulation. It is violence to sit there and play with somebody's mind. I'm talking about play. Y'all got people, it is master manipulators in this world. I mean, and they take pride in it. Especially if they manipulated you and you somebody who is considered to have a high IQ. Somebody, a lot of people respect. Somebody that, people smile upon. Master manipulators, they don't want just anybody. This is why they call master manipulators. They want somebody everybody think is somebody, right? Just so they can go say, this what I did to her. This what I got her to do. This means that if a master manipulator can manipulate somebody, a master manipulator can be manipulated. Ain't this segment called Domestic Violence Patterns? This is what Arthur Tedder Sherry feel about it, okay? And I'm going to need y'all to check out my book, Mask or Perdition. Keep up with my website weekly, www.crowncontentpublications.com, weekly. See, I might not speak it in these words in my book because, see, I have to say it like, I actually do have to include the statistics in the book. I actually do have to include the rates and how they have increased over a certain period of time, and probably in the past 10, 20 years when I'm talking about it. And especially in the past 2-3 years since COVID started. People lost their mind when they didn't know what to do when COVID started, boy. You know what? People lose their mind. You know why they lost their mind and start beating on each other and going crazy? Because they got to wear masks. It wasn't because they had to wear masks and get vaccines. You did everything else the government told you to do all these other years. It wasn't that. This stuff was about money, y'all. So many people, true colors came out through this. I believe this pandemic was divine. Like, it was definitely allowed by God. So a lot of us could see. Yeah, because see what happened? All of a sudden, certain people started getting certain. It was for everybody. Everybody was supposed to get a stimulus check, but certain people got theirs first. Or certain people got unemployment. Still, money. Because, see, when something happened that everybody was affected, I'm talking about celebrities too. Whole NFL seasons was canceled. This is playing with people's money. You had people just, boom. You seen who they were under pressure. You saw who they were when your opinion wasn't their opinion about a mask mandate. You saw who they were about who you been. You probably been dating this person the whole 2 years before the pandemic. All of a sudden the pandemic come. Hey, don't you think you should stop dating that person? You just got to see people's true colors about how they feel about how you live your life. It shouldn't take a pandemic for you to see that. All I'm saying, y'all, before we can break a cycle or break a pattern, and I'm talking about evil ones, you got to first observe and find out what that pattern is, or if that is even going on in your life or in your circle. People might feel like I'm out here starting division doing these type of segments. I'm not, but see, guess what? Division gonna always be better than somebody losing their life sooner than they supposed to. Division gonna always be better than somebody resulting to a place of violence, because this how relevant they want to be. Look at the violence. Y'all know what? A lot of domestic violence cases though are still unsolved. That should be scary to y'all. They unsolved because whoever did it don't want to be found out. But they was bold enough to go on and carry that out. That's why I say I don't personally trust humans no more. This done got bad. Like, I ain't scary. I don't trust y'all. It was billions of y'all here before I was born. It's gonna be billions of you here after I'm gone. And you still got people walking around like this day earth. I'd rather be a humble character. I feel how I feel while I'm here. I'm gonna do what I do while I'm here. I'm gonna think how I think while I'm here. I'm gonna live my life like I live my life while I'm here. But you know, if this bother people to where they violent, they gonna recruit people to be violent, they gonna pay people to be violent. If I bother people that much, see, I call these two, y'all. This is to encourage some of you people that are survivors out there, some of you guys that are victims out there, okay, to abuse in some way, shape, or form. I call it $1 million stories we've survived, because a lot of y'all don't know what Crown Content Publications do y'all. We help you bring your books alive. We help you publish books about your stories. Not just these type, but I just thought I would put it out there. But a lot of y'all got me, and I got the strongest gut feeling still. Crown Content Publications ain't about me, Arthur Tedashiri, and my books. They're great. They have valid points in them. I feel like some of y'all, they come to me. They come to my business I just started. Y'all are gonna have New York Times bestsellers. Y'all are gonna have $1 million stories that people feel like they gonna spend their cryptocurrency on your money, on your book. I'm talking stories. Cause some of y'all done survive some $1 million. That's what I say. I ain't gonna cuss on this segment. But yeah, y'all done survive some $1 million stuff. Stuff that, like I say, 1 million people will purchase to read about. And you know what? It's always the same stuff. Somebody who you was supposed to be able to trust manipulating you. Somebody you was supposed to be able to trust hurting you. You going to try to tell people about it. They didn't believe it, or they didn't want to hear your side. Same story over and over and over. I heard this. So I'm finna go, y'all, because it's my baby birthday. She wants to go swimming. But you know what? Because I have a daughter, this mean that much to me. If I was never an advocate before, oh yeah, this mean that much to me. Cause see, my daughter gotta live her life one day. It's a lot of people I tell her now, I wouldn't want you around. I wouldn't want you around. And I'm teaching them early. Watch patterns. Watch cycles. Look at the pattern. And they can see it as young as they are. Look at the pattern or the cycles that seem to be in our life. Your mama life. And then I want you to think as early as now. 10, 9, 8 years old. How you not going to allow. Okay, so that's a start. Training them and grooming them to want more, to do more, to be able to live a life of independence. You don't have to be in everybody's face all the time. Everybody ain't got to be in your face all the time. Your life is your life. Like, you literally were gifted with your life, and I want you to live your life to where you do it unapologetically, regardless of who say what. People just be wanting something to talk about. But my point is, these type of patterns do lead to death. Y'all be out here just lying on folks or exploiting levels of a business your mouth and tongue had no business doing. You just felt like you could do that. That's called manipulation. Sorry, you're an abuser. You out here, because 9 times out of 10, if you know somebody's whole story like that, you know nitty gritty details, and you happily spreading them out, something is very wrong. Something is very wrong. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel. We're publishing and marketing meat, and we seek authenticity and not popularity. So if any of our topics are not popular, we have other topics on our segments about business, about books, about publishing, about homeschool, about anything that you can reference to. For more ways to support Crown Content Publications in 2022, visit www.contentcrownpublications.com. Y'all see I finally looked in the camera. But anyways, when I look at my screen here, it makes me think I'm looking at y'all. But yeah. Thank you guys.